The way somebody conducts themselves at a restaurant will tell you a lot about them. That's why we dine with potential romantic partners, business prospects, family members, and why we celebrate life's biggest occasions over a meal. But without the proper education, you could be making some serious restaurant etiquette mistakes. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you 7 of these mistakes and offer a friendly correction so you know the right thing to do instead. That way, you can conduct yourself in the most gentlemanly manner possible whenever dining out in the future. Hello, my name is James, and I am on a mission to create a generation of gentlemen. Let's begin with napkin manners. Many diners only place their napkin on their lap when the food is served and they're about to eat. But it is actually correct etiquette to place your napkin on your lap as soon as you are seated and as everybody is settled. Whenever you need to leave the table, for example, to use the restroom, you simply place the napkin either on your seat or on the table next to your plate. And as soon as you sit back down, return the napkin to your lap. Now, if you're dining at a more casual establishment where there is a paper napkin instead, it's not so important that you place this on your lap immediately after being seated. However, I still recommend you place it on your lap before eating to avoid any unwanted staining of your trousers. Now let's talk about ordering etiquette. Generally, it's good etiquette to be ready to order when the waiter arrives. Now, at some restaurants, they will try and rush you to get you out of the door and to get the next set of customers in. That's really bad etiquette on their part. In these circumstances, it's more than okay to tell the waiter you would like another 10-15 minutes to browse the menu and relax before ordering. Don't let them rush you. Take the lead, especially on a date. However, you should have made up your mind on what to order around the same time as everybody else in your dining party. Be ready to order when other people are. Don't make them wait on you to make up your mind. Now, politeness toward waitstaff is a truly understated yet powerful display of elegance. Always speak to them kindly, but make sure it's also very clear exactly what you are ordering. Tell the waiter clearly what you want. Requesting a modification to an item on the menu is okay at most restaurants in the US, but it would be seen as disrespectful in more gastronomic cultures such as France. The most gentlemanly approach, however, is, provided you don't have a food allergy, put your trust in the chef's creations and have an open mind to discovering a new dish or a new ingredient. When dining, it's very important that you match the pace of your eating with that of your dining companions. Eating so fast that you finish before everybody else, or so slowly that they're all waiting on you to finish, can really disrupt the experience. Remember to not only savor the food, but also savor the moment. And when dining out, the food is always the secondary event. Your focus should be instead on the conversation. And to make sure that you finish at approximately the same time as your other diners, make sure your order size is relatively similar to that of the other people's. Don't order the mixed grill with 3 different side dishes if everybody else is just getting a salad or an appetizer. Keeping your order to a relatively similar size to that of your other diners also helps avoid any resentment when it comes to picking up the check or splitting the bill. As I said, conversation should actually be your main focus when dining out. But remember, there are certain topics that are really best avoided at the dinner table. Avoid discussing overly emotional, overly political topics that could disrupt the mood and leave others with a sour taste in their mouth. Instead, you want to show a positive, open demeanor. Be a delightful dining companion. Take an interest in your fellow diners' specialist area of knowledge or field of expertise and passion. At the same time, be open in your spirit with what you share and what you reveal about yourself. Especially when eating, nobody wants to be interrogated with question after question after question. The conversation needs to be fairly 50-50. Here's how to hold your wine glass like a gentleman or a lady. Always hold the glass by the stem. Never hold it by the bowl. For two reasons. First, if you're drinking a white wine, holding it by the bowl will heat up the wine too quickly. But secondly, it also leaves fingerprints along the glass which are unsightly for your dining partners. It's also good etiquette to drink from the same point on the glass throughout the evening. Although this one is more important for the ladies that wear lipstick, it's simply bad etiquette to have a ring of lipstick marks all across the glass. Well, it's a little bit early for wine right now, but cheers to that. Probably the most important restaurant etiquette development of the last 10 or 20 years is this. Whenever at the table, you must put your phone away and keep it away. This is the ultimate sign of respect, giving your undivided attention to your company. And studies have shown that even simply having a phone on the table, even if no notifications go off, that reduces the chances of people having an open, emotional conversation. So the phone is actually hampering your evening without you even knowing it. Instead, always keep that in your jacket pocket and never check it unless you're expecting something urgent or perhaps you are on call and you work in the medical profession. And this etiquette rule is equally important whether you're on a date, with your family, or at a business dinner. If they are important enough to dine with, then they deserve your undivided attention. I've lived in the US for the last 3 years, and here, tipping really is a must. A gentleman always acknowledges good service by leaving an appropriate tip. What is appropriate varies slightly from state to state and certainly from country to country. But in the US, anywhere from 15 to 20% is standard. Now, if you want to go somewhere very frequently, if you become a regular customer, I encourage you to tip up to 25%, and you will definitely see an improvement in service as a result. I even recommend that you tip the host to get you a good table each time. Even if you're not in the US, where tipping is the norm, tipping can be the mark of a gentleman. It's a simple yet meaningful gesture that not only signals your class, but also your kindness. So as long as tipping is not seen as rude in your culture, I think there's nothing wrong with rewarding hard work. And personally, when I leave a generous tip, I have a feeling of fulfillment, satisfaction, and generosity that is more than worth the amount of money I just left behind. Gentlemen, do you have a pet peeve when it comes to restaurant etiquette? Let me know down in the comments. I sincerely look forward to reading those. And I hope that with your comment, we can help make dining out and eating at restaurants a more civilized experience for everybody. So before I leave, let me quickly recap my 7 restaurant etiquette mistakes. The first is failing to put your napkin on your lap as soon as you sit down. Second, not being ready to order when your other dining partners are. Third, bad pacing, eating too quickly or too slowly. Fourth, bad table talk, topics that could kill the mood or even upset your dining partners. Fifth, holding your glass incorrectly. Sixth, using your phone at the table. And lastly, failing to leave an appropriate tip. Gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.